Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who didn't wrestle for 7 years and now somehow is champion of a brand new organisation, Carl Charles, and
the dude who super kicks his girlfriend, CY
I love that spot so much.
Yeah.
Oh
All right,
Jesus
so
Christ.
we're having a look at AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view
Yep.
2022.
Yep.
Did you watch the buy-in?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch that, so
Yeah.
because I saw the show was like almost 5 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly running through the buy-in show, which is just one match,
One
right?
match, yeah.
Hook and
Danhausen, yeah.
versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. How was it?
It was a fun little spotlight on these guys. Like, literally was.
Yeah.
Hook
Worth watching
basically. Not
for me?
really. Not really.
Or
Well, for
no
comedy
problem?
reasons, I'll say yeah, watch. But it literally was just Hook murdering everyone, and then he let Danhausen pin Mark Sterling, and that was it. So yeah, that's the buy-in. It was cool.
Okay. All right. On to the main meat of it. You know what though?
Mm.
When usually AEW pay-per-views are about 4 hours long,
Yeah.
which I can stand.
Yeah.
But when it's like 4:39, 4:40,
Yeah.
I was like, flagging a little bit. Not the pay-per-view, but me to
No, I get what you
sustain
mean.
myself watching it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Totally.
About 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours, I think is a good time.
Yeah. Anything
Not-
more kind of gets a bit.
Because there's some stuff, right? We'll probably go through later on, right?
Yeah.
But as we're going through it, what matches you would have cut?
Oh
from
yeah,
here?
yeah.
There's a couple that did kind of, honestly, deserve to be cut. But all right,
Some match. Well, I know at least one or two that I think could have been put on the pre-show. But
yeah. But would you say that's because of match quality? Because after the fact, or just because of the lineup wise?
bit of both. Bit of
Okay.
both.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's start main meat of the show. MJF versus Wardlow, where Wardlow basically just powerbombed
Murdered him.
MJF to oblivion.
Yeah.
I liked it actually.
I liked it.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
As for the story they were doing, and MJF took a couple power bombs. He tried it. No, he got beat up. He tried to cheat. They all
Yeah, the
just
most
looked at him
obvious
like,
fashion ever. Yeah.
yeah, because he grabbed his leg, and then he was like looking around. Yeah, not even checking if the referee was convinced he was hurt or anything like that. And then he just puts on the ring to punch Wardlow in the face, and then Wardlow just stands right above him, going, "What are you doing, you jabroni?"
Even a ref
MJF
is
just-
like, dude, we can see you. This is.
yeah. But which made it good because it was
Yeah.
like, not only did they kill, they just like, we're not a bunch of idiots, right? You
Yeah,
treating us
yeah.
like fools, except you're the fool because you didn't check your surroundings.
Like you.
and then
doofus.
he just got powerbomb again. 10 power bombs.
Yep, it was 10. Yeah.
I would say it could have gone a bit short, only because he didn't need to. Wardlow just could have picked him up and powerbomb again instead of showboating a little bit more. But as for which was kind of like an extended squash, but not.
Yeah, it was like a high-profile squash match
Yeah.
to end the story, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and MJF got stretched out the arena, which is storyline wise and kayfabe. This all makes sense because after you eating that amount of power bombs,
Yeah. You
which
shouldn't
some of
be-
which, by the way, was pretty safe looking because MJF had his he didn't come down particularly with a huge amount of force, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He kind of like had his arms spread enough to distribute the damage.
Yeah.
Probably because he knew he'd be taking a lot of those. So, yeah. And Wardlow then gets what's it called? Hired by EW, right?
Yeah.
Even though he is hired.
Yeah. But he's kayfabe's hired by
Yeah.
AEW now. I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I would say watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to see a guy, a snobbish punk, right?
Yep.
who's egotistical and arrogant, just get the hell, destroyed out of him.
Yeah, get his
He didn't even beat him up. He just basically, yeah, he just left him in a body bag afterwards.
Basically, like, oh gosh, that's a bit.
But he never got to the point where you're like, they could swap positions, face and heel. Could have been a double turn. Yeah, MJF is too obnoxious, and Ward, and he's kind of everything what Wardlow was doing was like, yeah, this guy deserves it.
Yeah, he did. I'm glad that he's sort of.
All right.
Gone.
So, Young Bucks versus the Hardys.
I liked this match, but it felt in places sort of uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same here. I was like, I think it might have been a bit too long for the Hardy Boys, right?
Yeah.
Because they were beat up. I mean, Matt's knees. First of all, when Matt Hardy's wrestling, I look at his knees and go, "Oh, jeez,
not even his knees. It's like how he walks. It's like he doesn't bend one leg.
Yeah,
and that's because of that hip stuff he's gone through. But it just looks.
And Jeff Hardy just doesn't seem to be in great conditions every so often. Sometimes he can do stuff, and then sometimes he's just a bag of bones, man.
Yeah. It's like...
So some of the stuff, like you're saying, some of the stuff they're doing, like I think the first half of the match, the Bucks were in control.
Yeah. And
the Hardys went a back foot, but it was more like, it felt to me it was paced to get them to the finale.
Yeah.
So it could have been a bit shorter to get to that point. I don't mind if the Hardy Boys matches are quicker, because the Bucks can go longer. But the point is just like, as long as they're safe, well, right. Except that they do some stuff and you're like, that's not safe for you guys.
Yeah, and it's like there was one bit near the beginning as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he was like concussed or anything, but there was a bit when Jeff Hardy was just sitting in the corner for a while, and it looked weird. I was like, this doesn't seem right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's really beat up at times, and it's just like not because he actually has been beat up, but because whatever. Like he's not in the greatest condition, I think. But then he does some crazy stuff like doing the swantons onto the ring steps. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's like, dude, should you really be doing that?
Yeah, you don't need to be doing that. Yeah. It could have been shorter, and some of this more stunty stuff could have been eliminated. Unless you're going to give it to the Young Bucks to do. Because, okay, fair enough saying, I don't want to see the Hardys do it because it'll hurt them. I'm not saying I want to see the Bucks do it and take the damage instead. Right? Yeah. But it's just like, it's probably safer for them to take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I also felt like the Bucks sort of carried this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so I know they do usually do this spot where the Hardy, so where they got their opponents on their knees and then they just super kick them. Yeah. And I didn't mind that, but I do mind the blatant leg slapping when they're doing it.
Yeah. And the camera angles didn't really help. He's like, "Yep, I see you slapping that knee."
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a fine match, right? And it had the. What's it called? The Bucks came out dressed as Elvis, and they had their cohort who was dressed in
as. Who was he dressed as?
I don't want to. I want to say Tony the Tiger, but he wasn't the Tiger.
Yeah.
It was so loud orange color. Yeah. But like you're saying, right? Yes, I think the Young Bucks carried this match. Not to say the Hardys obviously can't do stuff, but they're better off being the delete style Matt Hardy.
Yep.
They're broken Matt Hardy because they now have to work to this pace, and then you kind of see they can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Or like I said, shorter matches, fine as well. Not to put down the Hardys, of course. It's just
of course.
They can't go as much as they used to, and that's because they're completely beat up.
Yeah, and like Matt can kind of pull it off, even though he walks around the ring stuff kind of weird, but because he's kind of changed his style not to be that sort of high flying.
Yeah. When he does leg drops, when he does them leg drops,
that looks weird. That looks painful.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, he doesn't. He's not known for his high flying, so he's kind of all right.
Yeah, but
And I
Jeff,
want to say, yeah, Jeff is known for being more high flying, but at the same time, he doesn't need to do all of that. He can
no.
just save it for special occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So the Bucks do the Twister Fate Swanton combo, and I think Jeff kicks out of it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, keep your finisher strong, guys. Cool.
Yeah. And then later on, they give the combo to Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so he took a twist of fate, and then he kicks out, and then he ate another twist of fate and a swanton, and then they got the free count, which was fine. I was like, okay. But yeah, I would have rather have seen Matt Hardy interfere with that pit, rather than have Jeff kick out, or Jeff grab the rope or something, because it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. You guys do their finish on you, but you're basically hitting two finishes in a row and a guy's kicking out of it.
Yeah. It's kind of odd.
But yeah,
we can always use my logic, like I always say, that because they created a move, they have an immunity to it to a certain extent.
well, no, as the old kayfabe is, you may have practiced the move, but I have mastered it.
Yeah.
Right? So that means I know how to hit it is the most effective, where you're doing it casually.
Yeah.
And therefore you can't get the free count. But really, a swanton is you're basically just diving on someone's body, squashing them.
Yeah.
So it's like, fair enough, yeah. I mean, fair enough the twist of fate if you're gonna see an unmasked that, but when you're splatting on somebody, you're basically splatting on somebody.
Yeah. That's not negotiable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say if they crunch this down to about 15 minutes ish, because it went about 20, went 19 something, yeah. But if they went about 15 or like between 12 and 15, it could have got to their points much faster. And it wouldn't have. I think the first half was a bit slower than the second half.
Yeah.
But it could have been more of a sprint if they cut the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they might have had to cut some of the stuff that I didn't need to see from the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no. Yeah.
Even though I still think that the Bucks should have went over, but
Yeah. Only because watching this match, you're like, well, they're the dudes doing most of the work.
Yeah.
So for recognition, they should.
Yeah.
But that's after the fact, of course. So
it's also like, I get none of them need this win or anything, but do the Hardys after 23 years in wrestling business really need this high profile of a win? Not really. But
no. And not to say, obviously, if they were in prime condition or in better condition, right? Because of all the damage they've done to themselves, then you'd be like, all right, they kept pace and they're fine. But you're like, no, please don't do these things I must see you do. But they are better as a tag team unit. I just think they need shorter. Either they need to have shorter match times when they're going with other people that can go at fast pace, or adjust the style for. So if they were having a match with FTR, for example, they could have longer matches because they don't need to do all the craziness.
Yeah, it's cool, of course. Yeah.
So they can still work as a pair. They just need to adjust the matches for it depending on the opponent because they can't do what they used to be able to do.
No.
All right. So would you say watch it or not?
Yeah, if you're a Hardys fan, I'll say watch it.
I'd be like, yes, like you say, there's some bits where you're like, oh, they're trying to be the Hardy Boys of old, but they don't quite get there.
No. So
all right.
That was
okay.
Yeah. Next
TBS match. TBS championship match.
Yep.
Jade Cargill, who's the champion, versus Anna Jay. All I can say is it was actually a kind of a rough match, actually.
Yep. This is the match I was saying that should have been on a pre-show. Me too.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. Now, aside from match quality as well, it had quite a bit of people like that had nothing to do with the actual match itself. come
Yeah.
down and do stuff. And it's like, are you guys trying to draw attention away from the ladies?
Yeah.
Because they're not. I mean, usually you have many distractions because you're like trying to hide the quality of the ring. People, like
Yeah.
and I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to slate them, right?
No,
but at the same time, it's just they're trying, they do stuff, but there was a top rope glam slam, but I can't remember if Jade Cargill calls it.
Jaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Anna Jay, which, by the way, I don't know if you how carefully you watched it, but I'm like, Anna Jay made sure her hands were way close, like in front of her. Wait, but I'm like, that's safe because I don't want her to land actually her face and injure herself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she had them kind of quite far ahead, that you could tell she's not gonna she's gonna take the impact on her forearms, right? And come down.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. I'd rather her not actually injure herself, trying to make it look too devastating.
Yeah. Like, the other thing, that getting to that bit was a bit clunky as well. Like, this is a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, let me just go back to the Hardys just for 1 second.
Yeah.
There was a bit where, you remind me of the top rope move.
Yeah.
There was one where Jeff Hardy, I think it was Nick Jackson. They were going to Jeff Hardy was going to swanton someone, one of the Bucks, and the other one ran in and knocked him onto the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And then he tried to pick him up, right? And then you're like, all right. And then Jeff Hardy did. Okay, so it was like a sit-down jawbreaker, except he did it on the top of the turnbuckle. So he kind of groined himself. And the commentators were like, was the move, like, did the Buck try to get him up for a suplex and slip, and Jeff Hardy also fell, right?
Yeah.
But Jeff Hardy no-sold it, and then he went to do a swanton or whatever he was going to do at the top there. And I was like, wait, so... Because on the replay, you can see, he did the jaw jack or whatever, right? But it's like, you shouldn't have landed the way that you landed on the turnbuckle then, because unless you're going to sell your groin as well.
Yeah.
But that would have been silly as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing if he landed, for example, on the turnbuckle pad with and his legs were spread, and then he landed in the sitting position.
Yeah.
But he landed with his legs like a bit further, like he landed between the post and the buckle.
Yeah.
That bit, and it was like, okay, I'm not sure who was meant to get hurt here.
Yeah.
Because they both look like they got hurt.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Aside from that, you were saying about how they got to this point.
Okay, obviously, the whole thing, Anna Jay set her up to give her a suplex or something. And she was giving her the elbows. And then Stokely Hathaway came down, a.k.a. formerly known as Malcolm Bivens, came down. And then she's like, what are you doing? And then Jade swipes her legs or something, if I remember correctly. And then the setup to get to the Jaded it took kind of long.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Because I think she hooked her arm, and then she hooked her other arm, and then kind of pulled her to stand up onto the top, and then it's like, okay. I mean, I know where you're going, but you're not like it's not like you were building anticipation for the move. You just kind of took a bit of a while to get to the move, and it looked a bit not clunky. Setup wise. I mean, exactly. It's got to be on the pre-show, and you'd be fine.
Yeah. But and then but I can see why they didn't put on the pre-show, because what happens next with all the people coming down or whatever.
You get what was it? You had
Chris Statlander came down because she's got beef with Red Velvet because they were gonna beat up Jade and the baddies were gonna beat up Anna Jay. So then Chris Statlander come running out because she's got beef with Red Velvet.
Yeah.
So
by the way, when they were standing, Red Velvet looked tiny.
Yeah. And the thing is, Jade and Chris Statlander are only I think they're 5'10", even though that's quite tall for women, but they make them not look tiny. So I'm guessing they're not even 5 foot.
I don't know.
This is weird. So and then it's 3-on-2, and then Athena comes, aka or formerly known as Amber Moon, comes down, and she starts getting in Jade's face. I was like, oh, cool. Athena's there. I like Athena. She's great.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of worried.
What to what they're gonna do build wise?
Yeah.
Or do you think
like,
Anna Cargill's? Do you think Jade Cargill's gonna beat Athena?
Yeah.
She's got to beat Chris Statlander first.
Yeah, I think, and she beat Statlander? No, she hasn't beat Statlander before, has she?
No, I mean like it's feud wise. It seems like they're gonna.
No,
like Super Red Velvet, they shall feud with
Jade. Yeah.
I will say this. I will say this about this match, right? They've got a roster of more experienced women, and obviously you don't take Jade Cargill beating up all the women that I want to say are better than her. But
Yeah.
you gotta have enough someone with enough experience to carry the match.
Yeah. That's what was kind of the problem with this match, because neither her and Anna Jade are that experienced.
Yeah.
So it felt a bit clunky at times.
Yeah. You have someone who can take a loss.
Yeah.
But also carry the match.
Yeah. And like that's where Jade's matches, the good ones she's been in, have been with her. She's like someone who's got like really good like experience in a ring, and they sort of carry the match.
So
but
Statlander and Athena later on, I think they'll help.
Statlander maybe, because she's still relatively new in wrestling, because she's only been wrestling for like 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so
but she looks like she looks like she can do stuff when I've seen her.
Yeah, but then I don't know if that was because who she was in the ring with.
That's true, makes sense.
But Athena, I know from like everything we've seen her in, she is good enough to carry anyone. Yeah. So, but I just don't want her to lose to Jade.
Yeah. Well, we're not on the Jade hate train.
No.
But you got, when you position someone in that way, you've got to have enough to cover their deficiencies, is what we're saying.
Because I don't mind if Athena beats Jade, becomes TBS champion, and Jade moves on to the main women's title. And I have no problem with her winning that either. It's just because I don't know why I'll buy it more. I don't know why, but it's just going against Athena. I think it'd be weird if Athena loses. Yeah. Again, nothing against Jade, because I actually do like Jade as a wrestler. Yeah. So,
do you think she's got the Roman Reigns syndrome where she got pushed too soon, too quick? Look, she's got the look about her. She looks athletic, right?
Yeah.
And she's not bad in ring, depending on who she's with.
Yeah, and character, she's got the character down to a T.
Yeah, and I'd say she displays quite a huge amount as a character. And as the person portraying the character, she's got that confidence about her where you're like, yeah. But then sometimes you get people who have bad matches anyway. So you never know. It might just be one of those.
Yeah, never know. But I'll say, like in a year or two's time, Jade's gonna be awesome if she sticks to wrestling. She'll be awesome.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think she'll get there.
Yeah.
Just it's quite high profile for where she is at the moment.
Yeah.
And not to say she's not meeting that level.
No.
But she doesn't need to. She should be better off being a contender right now rather than being a champion.
Yeah. But I get why she's champion, but I get what you mean,
Cool. House of Black versus Death Triangle.
Yeah, I love this match.
Yes, this is a chaotic match. This was like...
Yeah.
So Death Triangle is Penta
Esquero. That's his name, yep. Ray Phoenix and the Bastard Pack.
Who came out with a lucha mask.
Yeah. Half Penta, half Phoenix mask, which is pretty cool, yeah. And they came out with mini Penta, which was hilarious. That made me laugh. I was like, oh wow, that's hilarious.
And then their House of Black with Malachi Black.
Yep.
Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews, sorry. Yep. I do like JR where I correct myself.
Yeah. But at least you know. JR doesn't know until someone points it out. But
I think sometimes they call him Buddy Matthews during this match, right?
Yeah.
No, sorry. Buddy Murphy during the match, right?
Yeah. Which I thought was hilarious.
And what's the other guy's name?
Brody King.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this match. It was
It was insanity. It was like a PWG match.
Mm-hmm. It was so hectic.
Yeah.
So fast paced, and a lot of things were happening, but it's like you never lost control of what's going on because they highlighted whatever was going. It stayed contained in the ring.
Yeah. Unlike
so
a match
knew where
later
you were
on.
looking.
Yeah. But those guys, like, I know this was meant to happen months ago, but obviously people got injured and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was worth the wait. I don't know. Because, like, on TV, the story was kind of dragging.
Yeah.
But, like, for this build-up, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think
Buddy Matthews got a poison rana. I was like, oof.
Yeah, that looked dirty.
The way that Pac was coming down, when you watch him, like, so when you're doing the poison ranas and you're flipping, like that, right?
Yeah.
I was watching Pac on the way down, and I could see he had his roll cage in wrestling, where he was protecting his head on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you don't want to actually spike yourself
No.
as well. So, like, when people do stuff and you notice something, you're thinking, I hope they're safe.
Yeah.
Not to say that should be a dangerous move, but when you're doing Hokarana, you go to the side, you can clear it. When you go backwards and someone's basically moonsaulting themselves over you, that's a tricky one.
Very tricky.
Yeah.
But he done it, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the war paint that everyone in House of Black was wearing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Buddy Matthews looking a bit more sinister.
Yeah. I was like, this guy is amazing. His knee strikes are wow.
Yeah.
They look awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Good on him because he's been in some good matches.
Yeah.
It went on even on 205 Live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they used him to his full potential.
No.
But he looked big.
Yeah, he's huge.
Even though in 205, of course, they were calling him the juggernaut of the division because he was big as well.
Yeah. And you blatantly know he wasn't 205 pounds, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anything he's like 220, but whatever, sure.
Yeah. Loads of crazy stuff going on in this match.
Yeah.
Canadian the
Canadian
Mexican Destroyers?
Yeah, Mexican Destroyers. On the apron.
Yeah.
That was mad.
And he was flipped off. So Penta flips off Phoenix's back to do the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah.
Because, like, Buddy Murphy has Phoenix in, like, a powerbomb clinch sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then he kind of falls to his knees, so he's kind of half out of it. And then Penta jumps off of Phoenix's back and then catches Murphy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm.
And wait, was it the next match? No, it is the next match. What I was thinking. No, never mind. And there's an awesome bit where, when Buddy Murphy, no, I did it myself. Buddy Matthews, picks up Ray Phoenix for a suplex and throws him to Brody King, and he gives him the Brody bomb.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was looked like he nearly killed him, but that was awesome.
Yeah. The finish, the lights go out. I was like, oh my God. Even JR was like,
this again.
Yeah. Yeah, and Julia Hart is not related to the actual Harts, by the way.
No.
She's just a lady who does have the same surname. She sprays black mist in Pac's face.
Yeah. And
then you get Malachi Black with the black mask for the free count. I was like, oh yeah, but she didn't. Okay, what I'm finding during this pay-per-view is a lot more interference than there's usually.
Yeah.
In any AEW matches.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't need to. I don't want to say I didn't need to protect them, right? But Anna Jay could have taken that loss without
cleanly.
Yeah. Right. Or yeah. They could have taken this loss as well cleanly.
They could have, but
I mean, even if you had, for example, right, just something that is slightly the same but different. Okay, let's just say you had Julia Hart come in, right, and at this point hands Malachi Black the black mist or whatever. You know how it is, right? She's got to come in to do something, right? Not to distract the referee or whatever, but she's got to hand the black mist over, and then he does a black mist, and then onto Pac. Then that'd be all right.
No, like the only reason why I say no because the story going into it makes sense for her to do that. What she just did, if you know what I mean? Because they kind of set up on AEW, like the TV, that she was gonna sort of do this. So it kind of made sense for her to spray it rather than her hand it to.
No, I'm not. When I say hand it, what I mean is, of course, because you got to discreetly hand it. So Malachi Black obviously can't have that and this person the entire match or something, right?
Yeah.
You got to have the person hand it to him. Like, sometimes the referee hands the black mist over to whoever, the green mist. But what I'm saying is, I could have done without the interference.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but that's like
the bad guys could have won clean and they'd been fine.
Yeah, but then
go on.
Her joining wouldn't make sense. Well, it does make sense, but it wouldn't have an impact that it had.
Okay. You're talking from a storyline perspective. I'm talking from a Max perspective, which is fine. It's just
but this match was never going to end cleanly anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. And if this wasn't the only match, if this was the only match with interference, fair enough.
Fine. Yeah,
it'd probably be the only match that kind of not needed it, but required it the most out of all of them.
Yeah, it does. So. Yeah, because like Yana Jade won, didn't need it, but they did it so they can do what they did at the end, which again.
And the following match. By the way, I'd say watch this House of Black versus.
Watch it. It's awesome. Probably my second favorite match.
So this next match, Samojo versus Adam Cole, the Owen Hart Foundation Finals.
Yeah.
Non-title match because Joe is a Ring of Honor TV champion.
Yep.
Comes in with a busted shoulder because of Carlo, the match he had with Carlo Reilly.
Yeah.
Which protects him already, right?
Yeah.
But then we have interference from Bobby Fish later on. And it's like, okay.
I kind of get this one as well, but it didn't. Like, I knew this was going to finish in interference, but I didn't expect it to be Bobby Fish, but then it made sense that it was Bobby Fish. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but you could have just had Adam Cole, like, not. You could have had Adam Cole cheat himself, if you know.
Yeah.
It could have been like a point where they I don't want to say KO the referee or whatever, right? But just hit Joe in the shoulder with the chair or something. Or push him into whatever, right? But could have been like Adam Cole by himself did it. Whether how clean it was didn't matter.
Yeah,
it's just that you've already had this is the third match in a row they've kind of had an interference. People,
I
think the match was fine. The match was fine, but just like I was just knowing now, it was like another interference.
And so close since the other one as well. Yeah.
I did like Adam Cole's pink tribute gear to Owen Hart.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, he's winning.
You reckon?
Yeah. It was obvious. I mean, like, straight was like, oh.
Yeah. It was a pretty decent match, pretty good match.
Yeah.
But I didn't need Bobby Fish interfering because it was like, now I kind of know where this is going.
But I thought, I know it was going to be interference, but I thought it was going to be from Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh because they got that whole beef thing going with Joe.
Yeah.
But Bobby Fish. But I guess Bobby Fish had to do something as Kyle O'Reilly had a match, so I guess Bobby Fish had
to might have been something. Smarter. Well, it's obviously Kyle O'Reilly's been. Oh, he's got. No. Okay. I was going to say he's got a match later on. I was going to say he's done and dusted, but he wasn't. Yeah. And he had early in the show. So Kyle O'Reilly's got a match later on.
Yeah.
So when if they had the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Right. Just be like, we'll have your back called during this match.
Yeah.
And Kyle O'Reilly's like, actually, I've got my match to take care of, so I can't. I want to win my match, whatever. So I'll leave you guys to it, though. I know you can take care of it, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Then you have Anna Cole go off, and then you basically have Samojo attack Bobby Fish during that to try and eliminate him from interfering, and then you go into this match and
if Cole was feuding with Joe, then but he's not, and then that would kind of mess up the whole feud he's got going on with Lethal. So that would
it's true.
Yeah,
true. I'm just trying to figure out ways that they couldn't then need the interference. But anyways, the actual match was all right though.
Yeah, it was great.
Adam Cole working on the arm,
the
bad shoulder, and they make a point of it. So it's like, okay, fair enough. Yeah. And he tries to go for Panama Sunrise, aka the Coal Destroyer. What do you want to call it, Adam Cole? The Baby Destroyer? I don't know what you want to.
Yeah, it's just,
But the Canadian Destroyer,
yeah,
and Joe just like blocks it
he's
and
like,
then rock
nope.
bombs him. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I
nah.
did like yeah. So Adam Cole went yeah, doing a crossface and stuff like that. And then I think when yeah, so he did a crossface on Samojo, and then later on, um, Joe gets him instead in like a combination of submission move.
Yeah.
Like yep, and then he just keeps on pulling Adam Cole's body parts away from the ropes.
Yeah, because he starts off with he's given the power bomb, and then he kicks out the power bomb, so he turns that into the
Yeah,
STF,
yeah,
and then Cole starts getting to the rope, so he turns it into the Rings of Saturn.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Cole's knees under the rope, so he had to break the pin, and then
Yeah,
this
I
is
do
where
like it when he does that move, but and in certain points in the match, you're like, okay, maybe not that he'll get the submission from it, but it's just more like, yeah, just grind it,
yeah,
and just removing them, like it just helps build a bit more tension at certain
yeah,
points. It'd be nice if he grabbed Adam Cole's leg away and went to another submission move,
yeah,
but
that'd have been dope, but
yeah.
no,
But yeah, not yeah. The finish was fine. Like Bobby Fish coming in.
actually, I didn't mind the finish because it actually didn't really do anything to Joe. If that makes sense.
Well,
Because
if Bobby Fish came out, for example, and just came out on the ramp, right,
hmm,
and then Samojo let up go of the submission, and he points at Bobby Fish and just be like mouthing off to him, and he turns around and takes a super kick and then takes a Cole's finish or whatever. Fair enough, but he just legit came in and interfered in the match.
yeah, he interfered, but didn't really do anything because like Joe kind of like swapped him off twice, and then Cole capitalized from that, and then he gave him like what was it like 5 super kicks to the face, and then the
Yeah.
boom. So I was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
alright with that. It's not like he got distracted and then got super kicked and then pinned. And I've been like, oh, that's kind of lame for Joe, but
All right.
Joe
So
went
once
out
that,
like a
yeah, go
monster,
on.
so I was alright with that.
So once Adam Cole won that, I was like, well, I know who's winning this next match.
Yeah.
Women's only half finals: Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
And they had bands play the ladies to the ring.
Yep. The guitarist from Fonzie played
Fuzzy.
Fozzy, whatever. Played Britt Baker, and then Rancid played Ruby Soho. I said the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did it on purpose for some reason.
No, I wish I did. No. Oh, I should have played along with it.
Okay.
But,
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fine match,
yeah.
but kind of yeah, you
Predictable.
kind of knew what was gonna be happening.
Yeah.
Ish,
It was
to a certain degree.
predictable.
The power couple.
Yep.
Yeah, but he got dual chance in the ring. So
Yeah.
at least, like, as much as Britt Baker's healed, she actually has popularity.
Yeah. Which is weird. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Or-
like you said, it was like obvious straight away who was gonna win, and I was
Yeah.
like, why is Ruby even here if this is the
Yeah.
point? Like,
Yeah.
why make a big deal about it? And then she loses by roll up. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
no,
oh.
but I did like Ruby Soho trying to do a sharpshooter. I want to say trying. I think she kind of did it, but she had a knee to ground, so I don't know if she was deliberately doing like that.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, I'll probably say it later on, but actually, when we get to what we didn't like, I'll bring up then about this whole.
No, go
thing.
on.
No, because it's a bit of a discussion, so I'll bring it up later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was all right match. It's just kind of I don't want to say it was just because you kind of no, I'm pretty sure Britt Baker's going to win.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she wouldn't. That doesn't mean she would. And I don't want to say there was enough convincing near falls for Ruby to sway my thought process there.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Well, she's gonna have to turn heel at this point, right?
Ruby Riot,
Yeah. 'Cause,
unless
like,
they do a double turn.
no, like Brit, not with Brit, but like in general, because like Britt can stay wherever she is, but like Ruby, what can they do with her at this point? Because they just keep building her to like something and then do nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll make sense to refresh her like that.
Yeah.
But then there's got to be something that breaks her. And she takes one more high-profile loss to start another face, to an actual face or whatever, yeah? And then she could turn on them. It just makes more sense.
Because I think this week on Dynamite, it's her and Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter and Britt.
Yeah.
So I think they're obviously going to lose. And I think Ruby might turn on Tony then and that turn a heel.
So, yeah. Just after this is the presentation for the Owen Hart Memorial.
Yeah.
The Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Winners Trophy.
Yeah.
It
was very nice.
Nice. It was given to Martha Hart came out, Dr. Martha Hart.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? So I'm like, all right, so Britt Baker and Adam Cole come up. Two of these people both of them are heels.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Yeah, but they are winning as tribute to a guy. So what's going on here, you know?
Well, Owen was mostly heel all the time.
True.
I guess.
No, but they got cheered for. I mean, so it's one of those things where you're like, all right, you got to separate the kayfabe from the non-kayfabe at the point. So it kind of has its own alternate universe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And then once they go back on the shows, right, they're going to get the booze that they're meant to be getting. Or whatever. But it actually be a decent time to turn them. But you can't turn them, of course. These two.
No, you can't.
Yeah. But you could do with other people, for example. This could be the kind of thing that would turn a heel to face.
Yeah.
But and that's funny because Tony Schiavone, Adam Cole's staring at Tony Schiavone for when he hugs Britt Baker, and I was like, yes, these guys, all three of them are just a bunch of jokers.
The other funny thing about that is like when Adam Cole comes out to greet Britt, and him and Tony just look at each other like, I know you're there, but I'm gonna pretend you're not there. Kind of stare at each other. I was like, this is funny. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. All three, like I said, I mean, I'm gonna say they're committed, but they're just really good buddies to make an extended long joke like that.
It was hilarious. Oh.
Okay, so onto the intergender, but not.
Intergender, but not 6-man tag.
6-man / woman tag.
6-person tag. Yeah.
Mixed trios match. That's what. It's
that's it. Yeah.
That's I finally got a name for it. So that was America Top Team, and Dan Lambert. No,
American Top Team with Dan Lambert.
Yeah. As their
cornerman.
Was he manager?
Yeah. Don't know.
Which would be, by the way, American Top Team is Paige Van Zandt from UFC.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky and All Ego Ethan Page.
Yep.
Versus Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Tay Conti.
Yeah.
Now, I enjoyed this match, right? For its stupidity.
Same here. Tried it for all the wrong reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara have just embraced their
douchiness.
Yes. So they come out dressed as she comes out dressed as Maleficent.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's all decked up as well.
Wearing a cape.
Yeah. He's just like, you guys are you guys deserve to hate the game, but you're using it in the correct manner.
Yeah.
And all throughout the entire match, they're just like wanting to make out with each other, or like show off to each other, or hug each other, or like the traditional infatuation group people that you're like in your friends group. You're like, please contain yourself, but they can't. They won't, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Right? But it all built to the spot where, first of all, Frankie Kazarian is like, you two on my own team, I've had enough of you.
Yeah, even like 2 minutes in, he's like, I've had enough of this already. Why am I here?
But he's there as comedic, as like he's the straight man in the comedy in the comedy, making people laugh because of the insanity that's going on around him.
Yeah.
All they're concerned about Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti are themselves.
Yep.
Lip locking.
But
And then he's
like,
Frankie Kazarian's like, we got a match here that we're supposed to be trying to win.
but you know what's it kind of took me out of this match as well. Is like, there's like real stakes in this match. Like, if they lose, they can't challenge for the TNT title.
Yeah.
So why like act like that?
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It is true. Aside from that,
Yeah, because like if that weren't involved, I'd be like, oh yeah, I get what they're doing.
yeah,
But when there's serious stakes, I was like, why would? And because commentary kept bringing it up, I was like, why would you do this then?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But you know, the match wasn't that bad either,
good.
right?
Yeah.
The match quality wasn't bad, right?
No.
But I think it was elevated by the stupidity,
Yeah.
right? And Paige Van Zandt wasn't that bad either.
No. Even though she kind of not intentionally sold stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously she sort of knew it still, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like certain bits was like you should sell that a bit more.
See, here's the thing with when you have actual fighters, they're down, right?
Yeah.
But they think they're down for a while because in real fighting you're not supposed to be down for that long. However, in wrestling, when you're down, when you get out quick, it looks like you're no sold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. But she was still
I want to
good.
say you can't fault her because her instinct is to get up, and she's thinking she's been down long enough to get up.
Yeah.
But that's not. But she's got to learn that she needs to take longer.
Yeah.
For the drama.
Yeah, exactly. Besides that, yeah, she was pretty good. She didn't botch anything or anything like that. So,
no. And when they what's it called? Guerrero goes super kick, and wait, hold on. Yeah. Sorry, hold on. So Tay Conti gets super kicked by Sammy when she's trying to hold someone to for him to hit.
Oh no. It's what happened. Her and Kazarian were having an argument.
Yeah.
And then Kazarian saw in the back of his head, in the back of his eyes, he saw, that's made no sense, but he saw Sammy come in, so he sort of stepped out, and that's when Sammy super kicked Tay. Like, ooh.
Yeah. So here's my mind after watching it a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense because why would he try to super kick his own teammate, right? That's probably why I'm like, she must be holding someone else.
Yeah, logically that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. But I must have. It's like, oh, why? But why would that happen? But then again, of course, why would that happen? Is because he had enough of their shenanigans.
Yeah.
Alright. I had to just replay in my head because I was like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Some of them, like, when I saw it, I was like, that's cool and everything, but why?
Yeah, and then Kazarian, the only one on his team that's actually trying to fight, and then he gets to take the pin.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but yeah.
I mean, it would have been easier for Sammy to take the pin.
Yeah. It made more sense, really, as well.
Yeah.
Because like, he's showboating and stuff.
Yeah, and then he just super kicked his own girlfriend and be in distress. You know, like. Not easily distress, but just like, oh no, and just turn around into something because he's concerned it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did Kazarian's slingshot cutter where he like pulls the rope when they're on the outside and they somehow come flying in and he gives them a cutter.
Yeah.
Logically it makes no sense, but it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, look, I enjoyed the shenanigans of this match. Some people might not like it because of ring quality, and then when you throw logic into it, but I was like, it was dumb. It was dumb and fun.
Yeah.
And from when you're just watching the match itself, it builds to the suit like Sammy. When Sammy kicked Tay, you're like, yeah. Not how she deserved it, but just like, right, you can see why that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because they became insufferable from the beginning to the end of the match.
Super insufferable, yeah.
So Darby Allin versus Carlo Reilly. I like this match actually.
This may be my favourite match.
Yeah, well, one of my two favourite matches of the night. No, probably three.
Actually, this might be my second. I think the one I said earlier was my second. It's probably my third, but yeah.
No, actually, no. They had several later on. From this point, they had several good matches.
Yeah, I don't class the Anarchy in the Arena a match.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
not a spectacle, but yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, yeah. So when Darby, I was like, when this match was about to start, I was like, where's my Darby Allin?
Stupid
short...
movie.
yeah. That doesn't make any sense. How's he gonna stun? How's he gonna die this time? But no, I survived. But then it did happen. I was like, oh, what?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm using my Darby Allin mini movie just to set up the Hookah Kenny-ness of it.
Yeah. I was sitting there thinking the same. I was like, where is it? Why is it not
But
here?
yeah, I like this match. It was a different. It was kind of just a hard-hitting match.
Yeah.
They were in it to hit each other pretty hard, actually.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Sammy got concussed not Sammy, sorry. Darby got concussed at some point, though.
Yeah, so when he dived out.
Before that, I even think.
Oh, when would you say?
You know when I think Carlo Reilly knees him early on in the match, something like that, in the face.
Yeah.
And he just looks kind of out of it for a bit. And he starts like coughing up the blood. I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit.
Oh yeah, maybe there was actual contact there.
Yeah. But
yeah. But yeah, when he dived out of the ring and he didn't quite make it with the suicide dive.
Yeah, dude, that confused me.
Yeah. Because did you reckon? Because they went to the next spot, but they did also repeat the spot where Carl already then caught him from the suicide dive in a guillotine.
Yeah.
But do you reckon that first part was meant to happen?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking maybe he was actually meant to hit the suicide dive for the first time around and then do it again and get caught in the second one.
Could be.
Yeah. But like you said, like I was saying, suicide dive was like, oof.
Because he literally, I don't know what I was sitting there trying to figure out what he was trying to do.
Yeah, commentary say he caught his feet on the rope on the way out.
Just looked weird.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Darby Allin does a Scorpion Deathlock. Was kind of neat, but he didn't do it perfectly. But though he did do it on the leg that Sting usually goes for. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, there's distinction between the Sharpshooter and the Scorpion. Yes, okay, they're the same move, but they kind of you wrap around you grapevine different leg.
Yeah.
So that's the only distinction. And there's where Darby Allin coffin drops Carlo Reilly while he's on the apron.
Yeah.
And then Carlo Reilly drops onto the floor from that.
Yeah, that looked pretty.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the coffin drop is safer to take, quote unquote, than the swanton.
Yeah.
Because the coffin drop, at least Darby can land on his butt/legs.
And plus,
on the way backwards. Even though when you're going blind backwards, it is going to be a bit of something.
Yeah. Plus, like the Darby's quite light, so it probably doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it was a bit. Ooh.
I did like how when the finish off was Carlo Reilly just penalty kicking Darby
twice.
Well, I think he penalty kicked him once, and he kicked out, and then he just kicked him twice.
Yeah.
More, and they gave him a top rope knee drop in his ribs to finish him. It was like fair enough because I'm not sure. I don't think Carlo Reilly's finishes are jumping knee drop from the top rope, but in this case, when you kick the guy in his side several times now,
yeah, I think it's one of his finishes.
Yeah. But it makes even if it isn't, it makes sense. Yeah. I don't want to say it's not flashy, right?
Yeah.
But it makes a sense in the context of this match.
Yeah.
Where obviously you've been taking damage to the torso, right? And then you just when you just boot a guy in his side, and then if you can't breathe, you can't fight, right? According to Rocky.
I think it is his finish because I know on his last couple of months in NXT, he was using that as a finisher. So I think it is his one of his finishes now.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this. I like this match.
Yeah, same.
I don't think. I mean, obviously, it's a heel beating a face, but it kind of is. I think it's like Darby tried to play Carlo Reilly's game.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, forgetting that he's like a child compared to Carlo.
Yeah. And Carlo Reilly's more like a submission kind of specialist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Submission
He's-
striker or something like that.
I think, is he the violent artist? That was one of his aliases.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, his style of match can work with different types of people.
yeah. He's like, to me, I think he's quite underrated, Carlo Reilly. Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't hurt Darby to lose,
No,
especially
not at
like you're saying towards the end of it. It's like you get kicked to the side enough, probably have broken ribs or whatever, you know.
That was so great.
Yeah, but I like this match. All right. So women's world title match: Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa, who's the champion.
Thunder Rosa.
This was a pretty cool match as well.
Yep, I really liked it.
Yeah. But at this point, I was like 4 hours by this point. No.
Coming up to that.
About 3.5 or something like
About
that.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah. It was. I think this is where I don't want to say I started flagging, but I was like, well, yeah. They just they followed our hard hitting match with a less hard hitting match, the best Bear could put it.
Yeah.
And then after this was the Anarchy in the Arena match, so which woke me up after. Like, I mean, not want to say, okay, these ladies were, but I think they were put in a bad position wise.
Yeah.
Where else could they go, unfortunately? But it's one of those things where slice somebody's match. No, would you say, okay, you want to put this on pre-show?
No, I would put this in the
Yeah.
on the main event, not on the main card, because it's the women's title. It kind of deserves it.
Yeah.
But
I just think that they if you had this instead of the TBS match,
yeah,
it would have been better.
Yeah.
In that spot.
Yep.
And then, like we said, the TBS match in on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did what they could.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy
it. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna say I'll give her a rewatch as well.
Yeah.
All right. Not to say I'm not slaying it. I'm not digging it. I'm just saying. It's been, you're watching it for the extended amount of time. You'd be like, sometimes you kind of zone out a little bit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this was a match that kind of I slept on.
For me, it kind of woke me up again because it started off quite technical. Like, okay, it's not going to straight not violence, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then it kind of gradually worked into I'm gonna hit you as hard as I can, and you're gonna hit me hard as you can. And I'm like, oh, okay, that woke me up.
Yeah.
And then when Serena Deeb hit one of her finishes, the detox, and Thunder Rosa kicked out, I was like, oh, this is getting interesting. Because I knew Thunder Rosa was gonna win anyway, but it had that slight chance for me, maybe she might not.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm definitely. I'll rewatch this match. But yeah, I think it was just sandwiched in an awkward position for me.
Yeah, if the Double or Nothing card wasn't 13 matches, I think it's something fine.
Yeah,
but yeah.
All
and then I liked Thunder Rosa how she won. How Deebs tried to do something on the top rope, and she's like, no, reversed it into a suplex.
Yeah.
And then rolled through and hit the Fire Thunder Driver for the win. I was like, yeah, that's definitive. You know what I mean? It was a definitive win because you got 2 hard moves in a row. You're not kicking out of that.
Yeah, unless you're one of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, literally about to say that. Unless you're one of the Hardys, then
All right. Okay. The Jericho Appreciation Society, which I don't know all the members of. I know Jake Hager is one of them.
Jake Hager, Danny Garcia, Daddy Magic, I can't remember his actual name.
Yeah.
And Cool Hand Mama, something like that, yeah.
Versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which is Moxley and Brandon Nielsen.
Yep.
Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. But they're separate. Them 3 are separate. And I like how this got introduced with, ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah, I like how you pause from it like, shit's gonna hit the fan. It did.
And then so Jericho's group comes out to do this, and then the opponents, the entire group of them, come out to Jon Moxley's Wild Thing.
Yeah.
Right, which plays for ages.
Yeah.
In a loop, and then for like half the match, I think. I don't know. Right, what I'm saying is
for like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah,
it played.
Right, while everyone's brawling.
Yeah.
And again, people came out in white, by the way, and that's why I knew blood was going to happen.
Yeah. Same.
And and then when Moxley and Jericho are brawling, and then Jericho unplugs the stereo.
Yeah.
And he cuts off the music, and he gets laser boos, and I was like, "Oh, it's great cheap heat. That's great stuff." I have to say, playing music in a brawl, like this the rock music ish, makes everything seem more epic.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and I like how people filtered in and out through the match.
Yeah.
So there wasn't too many things to watch at the same time.
Yep.
And then it got to the key people that were in at the end of the match. And when Daniel Bryan did a running knee, when Bryan Danielson did a running knee, so they took the top turnbuckles off. And when he did a running knee to was it Hager? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he landed on the, so when they took the turnbuckle off, they had the metal bit that's attached to, like the hook that's attached to the post.
Yeah.
And it looked like to me that he landed on it. Not saying he actually did land on it, but it's just like where his back fell. I was like, oh, that probably wasn't comfortable landing for him.
Yeah.
But he didn't sell it.
No.
I like the finish as well. Oh, Eddie Kingston disappears, right? So Mox and Danielson.
Oh wait! I was about to bring that up. So how he disappears is hilarious because him and Daniel Garcia are fighting in like the bowels of the arena, or whatever, and then they get to like an elevator, a service elevator, and then you see it shut, and like at this point, Eddie Kingston's t-shirt isn't that bloody. It's just covered in like ketchup stains and stuff, whatever, from when they're fighting. And then when he comes calling out to stumbling out to the ring, he's just covered in blood. And I was like, did he murder him then? Because where does all this blood come from?
Yeah. So Mox and Danielson just beating up people in the ring, right?
Yeah.
And I think Danielson's got the submission on. And then on Jericho.
Yeah.
And Kingston comes out and he starts pouring gasoline over everyone. And over Bryan Danielson as well.
Yeah.
And then, but that, they're selling, the gasoline, what is this, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls out a lighter, and Bryan Danielson slaps the lighter away from him and goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. It's like, I just want to beat him up. I don't want to kill anybody.
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go to prison,
Yeah. Which I liked, right? Because it is like, all right, now Eddie Kingston's saying Fury, at this point, he's just going to
doesn't care.
And it works with his personality.
Yeah.
Right? And Bryan Nelson's like, all right, we're here to beat up people and kick heads in, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not here to roast people.
No.
I'm not here to lose the match, actually. The way it was, right? It was kind of comedic, but I don't. It was like, no, I still want to win the match, by the way.
Yeah,
maybe
but I don't want... I don't want someone's death on my conscience.
Yeah, you burn them, and I can't pin him for a free count if he's on fire.
No. And I'm pretty sure we'll all be in prison after this for that, because there's like 1 million witnesses to this. So
yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Mox gets sent through a barbed wire table on ringside, and then Jericho hits Danielson in the head for 2 count. Yeah. And Go on.
No, wait. Does he? He passes out, doesn't he?
No, that's later on. After getting yeah. So, Oh no. Sorry. Yeah. Eddie Kingston tries to set people on fire, right?
Yeah.
Danielson slaps the light out of his hand, and then he starts fighting Kingston as well.
Yeah.
Which makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So Mox gets put through a table. Jericho Judas affects Kingston, so he's down. And then it's Danielson versus Jake Hager and Chris Jericho, and he's just kicking the hell out of both of them, right?
Yep. And he even says his favorite catchphrase, which I'm not going to say.
Yeah, and they didn't bleep it out either.
Nope.
Hence we're getting kicked in.
They knew he was going to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah. So yeah. He he's kicking Jericho. Hager hits Danielson in the back of the knee with a bat, and then Jericho he looks like he's putting on the Lion Team, the Walls of Jericho, not the Lion Team, right?
Yeah.
And then but then when Jake Hager grabs the turnbuckle ropes, and he starts bringing it against Danielson's head and just yanking it back. I was like, all right, so he's going to be in the Lion Team and basically have this rope pulled against his neck as well.
Yeah.
He's going to tap. Except that Jericho then let go of one leg and turned into a single leg crab. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the thing was, it wasn't like it was just a normal single leg crab, like you're sitting on someone's back. He actually talked it.
Yeah.
Because it was like he's leaning back, looking at Danielson as well as he's got the move.
Yeah.
So you his leg is bent as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't know, because if he's got dodgy knees or something like that, that's actually going to hurt him.
Yeah.
You could actually tweak something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jericho knows what he's doing, but really, And then Danielson passes out.
Yeah, that's like, okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed the chaos of this match.
Yeah, same.
I just wish
that my boys LAX got a bit more shine, because you did see him every now and then, which is cool, because they did give someone their finisher for a table. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's the thing is, a lot of people disappeared through the match, and it was like, for most part, toward like the last half of the match, it seemed there's like mainly Bryan Danielson and Moxley with Jericho and Hager.
Yeah.
And they did kicks to come in to try and keep everyone involved.
Oh, that's the other one. Didn't Daniel Garcia did he give Eddie the power driver on the ring steps?
Yeah. You know what? There was a lot going on. I can't quite remember everything. It was just like, someone did get power driver on the ring steps.
Yeah,
right.
Because it started on the apron, and then he kind of the ring steps was like on the side next to the apron, and he kind of like jumped over to the ring steps.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's. No, I think give it to Ortiz.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with like when you have so many bodies involved, you kind of just lose track of who's who.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like towards the end they just left you the guys who you need to concentrate on.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you're wearing white, when people in white t-shirts, you know what's going on.
Yeah, blood.
In a brawl,
All the bloods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good match.
Okay. Three-way tag title match: Jurassic Express versus Team Taz versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. I like this match as well. There was some cool stuff going on. Team Taz being Powerhouse Hobbs and what's his name?
Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
They should have won. But yeah.
Well, no, there were some nice, cool combinations here. And I think like they built to Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee having a showdown, which is good.
Yeah.
They were like Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee did the Spirit Bombs double stomp combo. And I was like, Jungle Boy, man, oof.
Yeah. Oy.
Yeah. And Ricky Starks doing the maneuver where he's got Jungle Boy's wrist and he's stepping over the top rope and he's looking at Jungle Boy's mum and sister.
Yeah.
And then he gets crushed and I was like, yeah, well, it makes sense.
Like, this match was cool. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
Yeah.
The winners, I was like, really? Okay.
Well, no, but the finishing maneuver was kind of neat though.
Yeah, even though he kind of botched it, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like how would you describe their finish? I know it's a powerbomb a catch powerbomb at the end. What was it? A flip into. Oh, it's like a
Is it like a suplex?
a back suplex flip into a powerbomb, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like, but he kind of botched the catch bit, so he's meant to land in like a sit down powerbomb, but he kind of
Yeah.
botched it, so he didn't. But it still looked good.
I think it was a fraction of a second too late. Not
Yeah,
that it looked
yeah.
bad, but it just like couldn't get him catch him in a perfect position, which happens. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
but like you say, yeah, it's noticeable when it doesn't happen. It's not noticeable when it does happen.
Yeah.
'Cause it does. It looks like it's supposed to look.
Yeah, and plus it's kind of like goes with this kind of match because obviously by the end of a match like this you will be tired, so it makes
Yeah.
sense for it to look kind of like
Yeah, it probably added more to the the desire to win, sort of thing. The realism of the match, yeah.
I guess so.
Adds a bit more theatricality to the match.
Yeah,
Because obviously you didn't mean to do it like that, but it's like a hard hitting match that everyone wants to win, and you're gonna put out all the stops even if you're beat up.
yeah.
Is that we're justifying it?
That's
Seth
it.
Strickland did a good moonsault off Keith Lee's chest.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, I was like, oh, but I'm not 100%. I mean, I know Keith Lee was against the rope, so you could get the rebound, but it's just like when you're stepping off a sweaty man, it might not be the best because your foot might slip as well.
So I think they've done it before. I think
No,
so
no,
last
to
time.
say,
Yeah,
I'm
no, I'm trying to
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's just like, woof, things could go wrong.
Yep.
I suppose if his foot did, yeah, I don't know.
But Keith Lee's a big lad, so you'd have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, big lad, yeah.
Best way of putting it.
Yeah. I like this match. It was
All
a
right.
nice blend of stuff that's got like you had power guys in there. You had people doing the high fly like Jungle Boy and Strickland and Swerve Strickland. Sorry, what's the I keep forgetting the other guy's name.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah. Them doing like more of the faster paced high flying stuff, and then you got Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee just kind of bullying
Yeah.
everyone around.
But all right, watch this match. I don't know. I was watching it and I was like, something feels weird to me. And I was talking to someone, my friends at work, about this as well.
Yeah.
You know, normally, right? If it's a triple threat tag team match, whatever it is,
Yeah.
is there normally one person from each team in the ring at the time? So it'd be three people.
Depends on the rules.
Because like I was sitting there, I was like, there's something feels wrong to me. Because like when there was the Young Bucks, was it at Revolution? Whatever the last pay-per-view event, it was Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks versus Redragon.
Yeah.
It was a 3 men in the ring at all the time.
Yeah, I get it. The rules are whatever the rules are
Yeah.
when they decide what they're doing, it seems.
I was sitting there, I was like, this seems weird to me. It wasn't until Arthur was like, oh yeah, that's why it seems weird to me. Yeah, whatever. But like, I thought about something that happened years ago and why I kind of remember they stopped doing it 2 men in the ring. Because remember years and years ago, it was in the Attitude Era. It was New Age Outlaws versus Legion of Doom versus 2 other teams, right?
Yeah.
And it was a 4-team tag match, but there's only 2 people in the ring, right?
Yeah.
And then the other people thought it'd be smart to tag in Billy Gunn while the Road Dogg was in. So it had to be Billy Gunn and Road Dogg in.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Billy Gunn just went, okay, cool, and lied down. And I think Road Dogg went, alright, and just lied down, and Billy Gunn pinned him. And they won.
Yeah.
And all the other people was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I remember after that, they never did that sort of thing again because they could just do that, really, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, they could just done it for this match. But,
Yeah, but as a tag title, then who loses and who wins?
well, the people who get pinned win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean... Yeah. You mean the opposing teams. I meant if Jungle Boy decides to, or Luchasaurus decide to lie down for each other.
Yeah, that's what the Outlaws did, and they kept the titles.
Oh, that's true. So they defeated
like,
themselves and won the titles.
Yeah.
I mean, they defeated themselves by losing them to themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that? Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this match it technically was that sort of match anyway, because there was always like 3 people in the ring at a point, or everyone was in the ring just fighting.
Yeah, I have to say it kind of yes, it did break down into the sense of, well, there's more than 2 people in the ring at some points.
Yeah. So it just made it whatever, but yeah, still a good match.
Yeah, yeah. All right, main event time. Punk versus Hangman Page, who's the champion. Yeah. I enjoyed this match actually. What, you saying you didn't?
No.
Okay. All right. You go first, and I'll try to defend.
All right. For me, like, this match got spoiled before I even saw it. Like,
yeah, me too. Actually.
Yeah, I was like, this is the route they're going. Cool. And so I think I kind of already went into the match not liking it because I didn't want Punk to win. Because I was like, why is he winning this?
Okay.
And like,
that's fair.
I don't know. I just like, I don't know what it is. I just didn't like it.
Okay, maybe you should give it a rewatch.
Yeah, I'll give it a rewatch. Like,
I also saw on the whatever website where who was going to win. So you're kind of like, okay, not okay, but you're just like, okay, you spoiled the match for me. Now I'm gonna have, I'm not sure exactly how much I'm gonna buy when I see Hangman Page to pin. However, he did convince me at times. I will say that. Because I think by the time I saw the results and then started watching the entire pay-per-view, not that it slipped my mind, but I was like, oh,
yeah.
But I there were some hard-hitting moves here, and I will say towards the end where Punk tried the
buckshot Lariat, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was going to say the slingshot. But and then he kind of didn't quite get the flip, and then Hangman picked him up for the GTS. I think that was what they were meant to do, anyways, right?
I think it's about the first one where he botched it, where he literally landed, stopped for like 5 seconds, and then did it.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this, right? This match went on for quite a bit, like almost half an hour. So, and then when you're doing that at the finish, you got to have the athletic ability to do it.
Yeah.
Fair dues to Hangman for always being able to do it.
Yeah.
However, Punk didn't do it gracefully. We'll say though, he's tied and he's beat up. Okay.
Yeah.
So well, yes.
See,
that's how I'm like, that's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm looking at it. It's like, So for me, it kind of added a bit because he couldn't do it right, and he couldn't do it gracefully at all. But that's just how beat up he was.
Yeah.
If he did do it perfectly, you'd be like, oh, cool, he did it, right?
Yeah.
But because he didn't do it twice, it'd be like, oh man, he's falling apart during the match because of the beating he's taking.
I want to say the same thing, but because I saw he tried it a couple of weeks ago on Rampages or Dynamite, where it was, and it looked terrible then as well. Like, God, just don't do it. But
I will say as well that Hangman gave Punk a GTS and Punk kicked out.
Yeah, I
thought he was going to do the thing where he kind of like falls out of the ring.
Yeah, same.
And then because I don't like it when people kick out, even if other people do the finishes to you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we said before, I know we justify mastering or whatever, but the GTS is the knee to the face, Yeah. So.
Yeah. Even though his GTS looked better than CM Punk's one, but yeah.
Yeah. And earlier in the match, Page gives him a dead eye.
Yeah.
And he kicks out of that.
But the thing is, the dead eye looked so bad as well.
Yeah.
Because like you could see that he was nowhere near hitting his head or anything. He was like miles up. And like, oh.
So moves like that, when you can't see where the other person is.
Yeah.
Like, and they're meant to be making contact with the ground. I think that's kind of weird. I know Okada does a move. Is it Sheamus as well? White noise, where he hooks their head when he do the drop. At least then, you know that you're
know
quote
their head.
unquote driving their head. Yeah, but
Yeah.
really, you're not really doing it. But at least you know their head's supposed to be supposedly making contact with the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're dead, you're holding them back there, and you can't even see if they're like where they are.
Yeah.
I know the angle of the camera is always going to be at your front.
Yeah.
But the people behind in the crowd, they're gonna see something amiss.
Yeah. And worse as well, like the last couple of times he's done it, the camera's kind of being an angle where you can see blatantly that it's not there. You're like, oh, that's not helpful at this moment.
So you could justify it as saying, oh, that means he never hit it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the person kicked out.
Yeah.
But still, then do a move that you know is not gonna has a 50% chance of not actually hitting the guy, right?
Yeah.
However, like when we talk about that as well, the gap between people, like when they do the tombstones, when Kane does the tombstone on Rey Mysterio,
yeah,
and Rey said nowhere near the ground.
Yeah, but you kind of let it off because Rey's tiny, sure, whatever. But...
Yeah. There was a bit where. So after Page hits a GTS, later on he tries to grab the belt and hit CM Punk. So the story going into this match, by the way, is Hangman Page is not going to let CM Punk destroy AEW, which I was like, what? Ever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where you like where this come out of nowhere.
Just
to give a little bit of heat to the match, but you could have just literally had two guys who deciding who was better, the better man.
But like storyline wise, because I heard someone explain, I was like, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Adam Page. Yeah, Adam Page's whole thing so far was like when he first lost his first match in AEW.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like it kind of knocked his confidence. Then he went through the whole alcohol thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he built his confidence back, beating Kenny.
Yeah.
And then because he's had match after match after match, his confidence has kind of gone up. But then because he's come against CM Punk, he's starting to fold under the pressure. So he's trying to justify himself doing certain things.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's a cool.
I get it if, say, for example, they had this match and Page won, right?
Yeah.
And then the next pay-per-view you have Punk win because he's like. Then you can have the in the gap between that and that.
Yeah.
You can have Hangman Page crumbling under the pressure.
Yeah.
And Punk getting to him.
Yeah.
I know it's a 4-month build between pay-per-views, so you don't need to get a rematch right away.
Yeah.
However, you can build towards it where, like, I'll say Punk wins a tournament, something to give Punk another title shot right away after he loses, right? And then, but he's needling Page all the time in between. And when you do this finish, that's fine. I'm just saying between the point where they started the feud and got to this point, it's just, huh? You know what? You're gonna belt shot trying to make it like a massive feud, but it's just like the beginnings of one.
Yeah. I don't think it's a massive feud. No,
I mean they're trying to make it like CM Punk. As far as Hangman is concerned, CM Punk's going to destroy AEW, but it's just like
I can see him doing it. That's why I was like, I can buy this because we all know CM Punk is a dick.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go that way because obviously I've seen it. I kind of thought this myself as well. Like everything he's been doing to this point is seems kind of fake to me. Like, oh, I'm happy to be here. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And from the Hangman's perspective, he's seen it as well. That's why he's calling it out. But everyone thinks he's paranoid and making it up.
See, now here's the thing, right? If Punk turned heel and won this match, fair enough. Because then it'd be like throughout the rest of the Dynamite shows or Rampage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He could just be more dickish and more dickish. He could say no. I didn't mean to do it this one match, right?
Yeah.
Pretend that obviously it was an opportunity that arose that he took advantage of. But then later on, just start building more and more that he's fooling the people because he's not constantly doing, but it's just like being more and more sly, and then overtly.
Yeah. I think that's gonna come though, and then Hangman's gonna be like, "See, I told you all along."
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
maybe I preferred it if Punk not cheated to win necessarily, but did something like not purely face to win.
Yeah.
And then it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this match. You're saying you didn't though.
No. But
Okay.
again, like I said, I'm only saying it because I didn't like.
The ending.
Yeah.
No, the who won. You didn't
Yeah.
like how no who okay that he won or the way he won or
That he won.
the result was spoiled for you, so you didn't that really.
I think even if the result wasn't spot for me, I still wouldn't
Yeah.
like it because I at this moment don't think CM Punk needs to be champion. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. I mean, I'm thinking aside from that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as just a match. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he probably doesn't need to be champion. However, the way if you're going by the AEW rankings, he's won most of his matches to get to that point.
Yeah. So I kind of give it that, but I don't know. Just
I could have done with a longer Hangman title reign as well.
Yeah, same.
So,
but then looking at this point, like I was thinking about it as well, I was like, you know what? This is just another chapter in the Hangman story because now he's gonna sort of go back to not the bottom, but like have another crisis of confidence sort of thing. And
yeah, but I think the way they portrayed the storyline, they just need a bit more juiciness to it to get to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought...
unless of course, sorry to interrupt, but unless of course they have a rematch, like on one of the Dynamite whatever shows, one of their not their pay-per-views, but one of the more key shows because you know how like the winter's coming and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Where Hangman loses again, but Punk has to cheat this time. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I thought originally that Hangman would lose his title to like MJF or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think I would have. If Hangman lost his belt to anyone else rather than Punk, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Well, here's the other thing as well. They have the Forbidden Door coming up, where it's AEW versus New Japan.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about you, but I do want to see Kenta versus CM Punk.
Yeah, same.
But Kenta's supposed to be still out injured.
Oh,
However, now that Punk has the title, you know, like it's more likely Punk would win that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if he didn't have the title, then you know, Punk versus Kenta would have been one of the things I'd be looking forward to watching.
Yeah. Because like I'm thinking like Forbidden Door wise now, like what has Hangman got to do?
Yeah, exactly. If he had the title, then and he could beat someone from New Japan, for example, someone who could take a loss like Tanahashi, right?
Yeah.
Then that helps Paige.
Yeah. But like now, not being bad, I see him at Forbidden Door facing like a mid card or something like that in Japan. And what does that do for anyone really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if Hangman was to beat Jay White, for example, at Forbidden Door, I mean, Jay White would actually have a decent chance of thinking he might win the AEW title.
Yeah, exactly.
Would it elevate like? Yeah, they could have waited till after Forbidden Door to take the title off Hangman Page.
Yeah, but now I'm starting to think as well. Maybe because of all this, losing and stuff, and in the promo before the match, if I remember correctly, or one of the promos, he mentioned that he went from being a Bullet Club jobber to AEW champion. Maybe he's gonna join back the Bullet Club. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, but then waiting for Kenny to come back to ignite the feud between the Elite and the Undisputed. Well, they're not Undisputed Era anymore, right?
They're the Undisputed Elite.
Except they won't be when they feud with the Elite.
Yeah, if it happens now, who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Overall, what are your thoughts on the pay-per-view?
It was good. I enjoyed it. It didn't because I watched it in. I don't know. I didn't watch it in one sitting, but 1.5 sittings.
Well, that's the thing, right? I should have done like you and split it.
Yeah.
Because it was way too long.
Yeah, way too long.
You start losing track of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you start dipping in some matches, and you go off to do something. Because you get to a point where you're like not zoning out, but unfortunately it was a women's match that kind of made me.
Yeah.
I gotta take a break for a minute. Like, you know, I gotta spend half an hour doing something else before I come back.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like you saved it till the next day, which was I should have done that as well.
Yeah, it was easier.
Yeah. It's just too long. Like 3.5 hours I can do.
Right? Yeah.
Even
But
if it starts hitting the 4 hour mark, fair enough. But yeah,
yeah, like I was gonna say, one of my criticisms about the show
yeah.
is why did like nearly every other match have like a sharpshooter in it, and they all looked terrible.
Yeah, and the other thing is like, how much interference do we need in the? I mean, there are, like 3 matches in a row where there's interference when it's
Yeah,
not
space
necessary. You
that
have to,
out.
yeah,
If you're gonna do it,
yeah.
so someone you could slightly forget it's happened already. You know what I mean? Like nuts.
Well, no, but you're not expecting it to like be constant. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not. And AEW shows aren't known for the interference.
Nope. So it's a bit weird. Um, besides that, yeah, it was a good show. Good
Yeah.
show.
I might have preferred the pay-per-view before,
Yeah.
but
Same.
this wasn't bad either.
No, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Some of the winners' choices were a bit weird. Like I still think Jurassic Express should have lost, but whatever.
and you think then CM Punk should have lost as well?
Yeah. Even though it was inevitable that he was gonna win, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Overall, pretty decent. You're saying, yeah?
Yeah,
Would you
overall pretty
say
decent.
some must watch, some not really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to say 80% of it is must watch. The other
Yeah.
20%. Yeah.
Which could have gone on the pre-show, by the
Pre-show
way, yeah?
or on an episode of Dynamite.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's us closing off. Yeah.
That is true. With
Yeah.
our AEW Double or Nothing 2022 review.
Yeah. I'm I'm a man who wants to destroy his body completely and utterly, it seems. See why, Sean?
And I am a man who possibly got concussed, Carlo Charles.
Yeah.
And yeah, let us know what you guys thought of Double or Nothing 2022. What matches would you have cut or would have extended if you could? Are you happy that we're...
I don't know if the... I mean...
I was extended, yeah.
Well, no, but you could, if you cut some of these matches that weren't on the card, you can you to make up the time, because you might cut too much.
Yeah, true.
I mean, how would you organize the card for a time limit?
Yeah.
The time limit that you have. I mean, I just think almost 5 hours is just not suitable.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right, that's getting into Wrestle Kingdom territory, and that starts getting a bit like brain dead after that as well.
Yeah.
Are you happy we're gonna relive another Summer of Punk in the year 2022?
By the way, let me just not correct you, but let me just add something to your Wrestle Kingdom thing, right?
Yeah.
At least with Wrestle Kingdom, you have matches that go on an hour plus, right? But you don't have that many matches on the card. If you know what I mean.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're right.
No, I'm just saying,
since
like,
they split 2 days,
This pay-per-view has a lot of matches on the card.
Yeah,
But
like 30,
there was remember that Wrestle Kingdom with Jay White and Kota Ibushi, and that match went on for an hour. But I think that on the overall card they only had about 7 matches.
Yeah, but wasn't that when they split Wrestle Kingdom into 2 days, right?
Yeah.
So but before that, when it was like 1 day, it went on forever.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember the one I went to went on forever. But yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but sometimes, caught up in the tension, and you're like, oh yeah. But sometimes, but there are times where you're like, oh man, I just need to. It's been a long day of work.
Yeah.
And then come down to watch 5 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, how can I? Yeah. So yeah, just let us know. And if you're looking forward to the Door That Is Forbidden, yep, and you can let us know by hitting us up on our social medias, our Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah, just put a comment down there. And yeah, so until next time, guys, thank you for taking a trip. Well, sorry. Thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.